pure fentanyl, it is fire. Like, it is so dangerous. It's like the most horrid, wretched, pure terror you can imagine.
Since we were kids, we were raised on cartoons where good always wins and everyone gets a fair shot. Then we grow up, walk past people sleeping on sidewalks in American cities, and realize life was never written by Disney. We're told America's a kind of paradise, but when you really look at Kensington, you understand movies are movies, and real life can be so harsh that the main characters end up curled beside a storefront, not riding off into the sunset. Under the L, the ground trembles, scattered with damp trash and the sharp bite of chemicals. Figures sway in place, thin and exhausted, frozen mid-step like time itself has stalled. Sirens slice through the air as ambulances race in, mingling with the rattle of carts, pushed by volunteers, carrying bandages, hot food, and quick, urgent questions. The homeless community in Kensington stands in direct contrast to everything we were taught about the American dream and the sanitized version of homeless in America we see from afar. Here, the reality is more intense than any storyline addiction. Poverty and abandonment collide in plain sight, revealing a truth we were never told as children. Not everyone gets a happy ending, and not everyone is given a fair chance. It's a stark portrait of a neighborhood pushed to the brink, where compassion isn't a nice extra, it's a necessity.
Oh, these people are getting beat up bad. Like, they're sleeping and they'll come with like big cinder blocks and they'll bang their head. And
have you seen that type of stuff?
I've like heard the cries and the screams. It was hard, it's sad, it's crazy.
The numbers themselves are devastating. In 2024, one single night counted 529 people without homes in Philadelphia, a 9.8% increase from 2023 in the city's point-in-time survey. Those figures aren't just statistics, they're lives holding on, waiting for us to stop looking away. So let's go deeper into the stories behind Philadelphia's unhoused stories of struggle, strength, and an urgent plea for real change. What truths might challenge everything you thought you knew? Deep-root causes behind every tent on Kensington Avenue. Behind every tent lining Kensington Avenue is a story of loss, not simple failure. Since the 1990s, redlining, discriminatory housing practices, and decades of disinvestment have carved the path for this neighborhood, slowly pushing a once strong community into an ongoing fight just to get by. Today, Kensington lives with a poverty rate hovering around 45%, while Philadelphia is short more than 64,500 affordable housing units, a gap that forces thousands of families into the painful choice between paying rent and buying groceries. These numbers aren't abstract. They map out real lives losing footing inch by inch with every shrinking paycheck and unexpected bill. And just as the economic and social foundation had no time to recover, another storm hit the opioid crisis. It began with prescription painkillers marketed as relief, then spiraled into dependence grief and shattered families. Now fentanyl and xylazine haunt the streets, contributing to a steady rise in the number of people sleeping outdoors and reshaping the landscape of homeless in America at the local level. The unsheltered count has reached 976 individuals, about 18.8% of the city's homeless population, nearly a 10% jump from the year before according to the 2024 PIT count. Kensington sits at the heart of this storm. Roughly 35% of all unsheltered people in Philadelphia are concentrated here, and the number of individuals sleeping outside in this area alone has climbed by about 23% in just a year.
Pure fentanyl, it is fire. Like, it is so dangerous. It's like the most horrid, wretched, pure terror you can imagine. And it feels like something slowly, like, just pulling your life force out of you. And then you get tunnel vision, starts getting smaller and smaller. And around this tunnel, it's just darkness, right? And it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, closes, and it goes, you're dead. That's it.
You think you're dead?
No, you're dead. You're a flatline, no heartbeat, dead.
These aren't just lines on a chart. They are nightly calls for help rising from cracked sidewalks and makeshift camps. Yet even amid the chaos, small flashes of humanity still shine through. Volunteers from Prevention Point Philadelphia and other outreach teams walk these blocks day after day, carrying clean supplies, tending to wounds, offering naloxone, and most importantly, holding on to the hope that today, even if it's just one person, someone will make it through. Kensington's emergency isn't just a local crisis. It's a reflection of decades of neglect, failed policy, and frayed compassion at a national level. It's one of the clearest windows into what homeless in America really looks like on the ground. Advocates keep pushing for Housing First Strategies treatment that centers healing instead of punishment, and a web of support that actually honors human dignity. Because right here among the tired faces under the flapping tarps and inside the tents rattling in the wind, there's something that hasn't broken the determination to stay alive, the way people look out for each other and the belief that even those most overlooked deserve a future. How local residents are affected. For people who live in and around Kensington every day, it can feel like walking a line between two realities, the place they still call home, and a landscape marked by wounds that never fully heal. Many describe their lives as a constant mix of anxiety and fatigue. They watch people collapse outside their front steps, guide their kids to school along sidewalks scattered with needles, and sweep the same block every morning, as if it's become an unavoidable part of everyday life. One resident in nearby Harrogate said, "Moving just a mile changed everything. Suddenly, she had to confront the full weight of the opioid crisis just because of my new address." Families love their neighborhood, but many also feel trapped inside a long-running emergency. I feel the pain and despair every time I walk through this area. We don't deserve to live like this, another neighbor shared. At the same time, there are faint but real signs of progress. Some residents see the city stepping up cleanup efforts, crime easing a bit, and new safety programs slowly taking shape. Still, they say, those improvements feel fragile, like a small breath in the middle of a storm that never quite passes. On top of exhaustion, many locals feel exposed and used. The rise of so-called trank tourism, where content creators come to Kensington just to film people in crisis for views and clicks, has left residents feeling angry and disrespected. They say their community is treated like a spectacle, a disaster backdrop, instead of a neighborhood that deserves real investment and dignity. Even so, people here keep showing resilience in small, meaningful ways, sweeping sidewalks, organizing activities for kids, checking in on older neighbors' acts that quietly protect the humanity of this place. In the end, Kensington's residents live between fear and hope. They urgently want change, need change, and are calling for action that goes beyond reports and press conferences. And no matter how overwhelming the crisis becomes, they keep standing their ground, holding their community together with perseverance, love for their neighborhood, and a fierce desire for a safer, healthier home for themselves and for those living on the edge of homeless in America right outside their doors. Nonprofit organizations in Kensington. Nonprofits in Kensington aren't just organizations, they're lifelines. The New Kensington Community Development Corporation sits at the heart of this support web, weaving together housing counseling, small business help, job training, and community health outreach into one shared mission. With a trauma-informed, equity-driven approach, NKCDC works alongside neighbors to clean up vacant lots, build affordable homes, and help longtime residents stay rooted in the community instead of being pushed out. In 2025, they launched the Kensington Engagement Center near McPherson Square Library, a welcoming space where people can access healthcare, legal support, mental health education, and counseling all under one roof. It's become a crucial form of social support in the middle of a growing public health emergency that mirrors the broader homeless in America crisis. Another key anchor is Prevention Point Philadelphia, widely known for its harm reduction efforts and daily street outreach. Through its Wellness on Wheels program, PPP brings naloxone wound care supplies, case management, and pathways to addiction treatment directly to people where they are. They also run syringe service programs, drop-in centers, and transitional housing like Beacon House, giving hundreds of individuals a chance to stabilize, begin opioid recovery, and move forward with substance use rehabilitation. Their outreach teams on the streets 5 days a week walk step by step with people toward treatment housing and safety, one of the clearest examples of what effective nonprofit outreach can look like. Completing this safety net is Project Home, which delivers medical care through its Epstein Street Medicine program. These teams treat chronic illnesses, infections, and conditions related to opioid use right in the neighborhood, meeting people where they live and gather. Project Home also provides supportive housing and job training, helping people rebuild their lives with dignity, independence, and long-term stability. Together, these nonprofits form the backbone of hope in Kensington. Their combined efforts turn compassion into tangible progress, proving that when a community chooses to invest in care, resilience grows a little stronger every single day. Solutions for a brighter future. Real change in Kensington will require more than scattered efforts. It needs a coordinated long-term strategy grounded in compassion, creativity, and community voice. Beyond emergency meals and overnight beds, the future of Kensington and Philadelphia rests on rebuilding trust, restoring neighborhood pride, and giving residents real ownership in shaping their own recovery. One fresh starting point could be innovative housing models, modular micro-homes built on vacant lots, offering private, safe, and affordable living spaces while cutting down on both building time and cost. Cities like Seattle and Austin have piloted similar approaches, reducing chronic homelessness by close to 30% in targeted zones. In Kensington, a project like this could combine city funding with nonprofit workforce programs, hiring local residents for construction and maintenance, turning people who once needed help into partners in rebuilding the very Philly streets that shaped them. Economic opportunity must stand at the center of any lasting solution. Expanding neighborhood training hubs connected to local businesses could prepare residents for jobs in growing sectors like renewable energy, food service, logistics, or digital trades fields that continue to evolve even when the economy tightens. Partnerships among Project Home community colleges, unions, and private employers could create a cycle where education, employment, and mentorship reinforce one another. At the same time, accessible health centers focused on addiction care and mental wellness have to remain non-negotiable. Blending mobile clinics with neighborhood-based support groups would help close gaps in care and restore dignity through steady, dependable services for the Philadelphia homeless community, and by extension for people experiencing homeless in America more broadly. Ultimately, the aim isn't just providing a roof, it's rebuilding a sense of belonging. It's about stitching together safety, opportunity, and compassion into a stronger social fabric. With honest funding, real collaboration, and a shared resolve to stop treating decline as inevitable, Kensington can shift from being a symbol of crisis to a blueprint for renewal. Change won't arrive in one big moment. But every small effort, every cleaned block, every person housed, every job created, moves the neighborhood closer to a brighter, fairer future. Transparent funding for lasting impact. Kensington's stories are packed with grit and determination, yet the money meant to support people too often disappears into murky systems. In 2025, Philadelphia earmarked $12 million for homelessness programs. But small frontline groups like Prevention Point, serving more than 1,500 people every month with food, medical supplies, and basic care, still struggle just to keep the lights on, even as visitors arrive on Philadelphia walking tours to witness Kensington's drug crisis up close. A new proposal for a homeless services ombudsman, backed by a $500,000 budget, aims to close those gaps and make sure funds actually reach the people living this reality. At the same time, blockchain technology is starting to show real potential. It can track every dollar from city budgets, private donors, or local fundraisers straight to what it pays for, whether that's job training, housing development, or direct outreach for those caught and homeless in America. In 2024, a pilot in San Francisco used the same method to distribute $1 million in aid. The results were striking. Efficiency rose by 30%, and 85% of the money landed directly in frontline services. Bringing that model to Kensington could strengthen Prevention Point's mobile clinics, which currently reach around 200 people each week. When donors can clearly see where their contribution goes, $50 providing meals, $200. Supporting housing costs, trust grows, and the 20% bureaucratic loss reported in 2024 starts to shrink. Accountability puts the spotlight back on people instead of paperwork. It ensures every dollar has a job to do and shapes real change on the ground. So how do we guarantee that aid truly reaches the sidewalks, tents, and shelters where it's needed most? As we lean more into social enterprises, the demand for transparency becomes impossible to ignore. What kind of business would you bring to Kensington to spark that change? To me, transparent systems aren't only efficient, they're fair. And when trust becomes the foundation, entire communities grow stronger with every dollar invested. A social enterprise ecosystem. Kensington's vacant lots aren't just empty spaces. They're open invitations for something new to grow. Back in 2020, nearly 50 unused parcels dotted the neighborhood, each one a blank canvas, where socially driven businesses could take root. Imagine co-op cafes or community farms, hiring hundreds of residents, especially those rebuilding their lives after homelessness or incarceration, offering not only wages, but a sense of purpose. Picture a small bakery on Allegheny Avenue, reviving talents like Maria's. She could share her baking skills, mentor others, and help them stand steady again. We don't have to imagine everything from scratch. In 2024, Homeboy Industries in Los Angeles proved what's possible, helping about 65% of participants secure stable employment. Kensington could adapt that blueprint, training roughly 200 locals a year in urban farming, culinary work, bike repair, or crafting goods from reclaimed materials. Projects like these breathe life into the local economy, and the City Council could boost them with tax incentives or low-cost leases, turning empty space into opportunity. With Kensington just about 2.5 miles from Center City, a 2025 analysis identified it as prime ground for neighborhood-based enterprises. Crowdfunding campaigns could draw support from across the country, fueling community markets, where handmade products restore both local pride and income. At its core, this kind of ecosystem invites every resident to play a part in rebuilding, transforming forgotten corners into small hubs of work, creativity, and dignity, a powerful counterpoint to the bleakest images of homeless in America. When we put people first, we lift the spirit of Kensington, proving that resilience can reshape even the hardest-hit places. So what kind of social venture do you imagine taking root here? And how do those ideas challenge us to rethink what real community support looks like? The more I sit with it, the more obvious it becomes. Social enterprises aren't just businesses. They're pathways to independence, proof that when we invest in people, the entire neighborhood rises with them. Conclusion: a path forward for Kensington. Kensington is more than a headline, more than a problem area, and more than what shows up in viral clips. It is a neighborhood filled with people who fight every day to survive, to hold on to hope, and to reclaim parts of the lives they once imagined. The tense, the visible addiction, the poverty, none of it appeared in an instant. It grew out of decades of disinvestment, broken systems, and compassion that fell short at every level. And just as this crisis didn't emerge overnight, the way forward won't come from a single program or quick fix. Lasting change will depend on listening to the people who actually live here, the ones who walk these streets, raise their kids here, and have been overlooked for far too long. Housing treatment, neighborhood pride, transparent funding, and real job opportunities all have to work together, not as temporary bandages, but as long-term commitments. Kensington is often described as America's warning, but it can also become America's example. An example of what's possible when a city chooses care over indifference, action over avoidance, and human dignity over stigma. The next chapter of Kensington won't be written by people looking in from a distance. It will be written by those who have endured the most yet still refuse to surrender. And in that resilience, that decision to keep showing up for one another, is where genuine hope begins for Kensington, and for how we respond to homeless in America everywhere.